need to do one huge favor, because lockdown is a disease in itself. Lockdown is a bigger killer than the virus. A lot of people on lockdown do not know what to do and are therefore bored, nervous, apprehensive, worried, just name it, all the emotions, all the negative emotions, they're going through that. So what we need to do is share with them. You remember in the morning we shared some key facts that will help your health. It will help your mental health. It will also help your social interaction. It will help the way you. So that's how beautiful it is to share. If you share with other people, they will be blessed by what you shared with them. If you don't share with them, you might hear something nasty, because the response to the emergency that we are talking about today is very, very daft. There's been no leadership anywhere in the world that has grasped the seriousness of what is happening. That's the reason why there is a big vacuum right now in leadership, and I want you to understand that the response can be better. We are not going to complain. We are going to plan, and we are going to have a wonderful time in lockdown. So if your city is in lockdown, great. Make sure you share all of this with every single person there. And by 7 p.m. this evening, I'm talking to all entrepreneurs, and I'm talking to every single human being that has access to the internet. Every human being that has access to the internet will be able to get useful advice. Don't sit down and watch television non-stop. That's a big mistake, and I don't want anyone to make that mistake. Do not watch your television non-stop. You know why? I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, the television station is on permanent death news. Permanent. Don't believe me. Just go on your standard TV now. They say, oh, breaking news. 17 people have been found with so virus and are dead. And then the Prime Minister comes up, or the President comes up and says, oh, this is essentially what is happening now. So people have died, and therefore they're changing their policy. Then another person comes up with a graph, tells you this is the death of graph in the UK, graph in the US, graph in Italy, graph in Spain. It's all death. We are alive. We need to know what we need to do to be alive. One of them, which is what the virus cannot stand, is to boost your immunity. I've brought with me what we did earlier. If you just joined in, then you missed a lot. Please, can you go to our YouTube page and get what we discussed this morning? It was very useful. Go to your YouTube page and get what we discussed this morning. I don't want you to miss out because you missed this morning's broadcast. I need you to go and get what happened this morning. This is it. We cut this and we showed you what vitamin this has and how this vitamin will boost your immune system against the virus. This is what you need to know. If you get fallacies, it will feed your fear, and you will know that the spirit of death in your town has knocked on your door, and you will panic and be in fear, and because you're stressed out, your immune system goes down. This is why you got to be as bold as a lion and understand that you have cousins, you have nephews, you have nieces, you have other people that you are related to biologically that survived 52 days in Wuhan. The city of Wuhan, where all of this started, 52 days. So please, if you are in Wuhan, type Wuhan on your Facebook page, comment. If you are in Los Angeles, type LA in your Facebook page. I need to know the location. If you are in London, type London. If you are in Lusaka, type Lusaka. if you're in Lagos, type Lagos. Whatever city you're listening from, I need to know. And I need to share with you the news you require to have to be able to not just thrive, but to explode like never before. Because this is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. To be in lockdown is to have a great showdown with defeat and rise above again with victory. So this is one of the fruits you're going to get hold of and eat, because it contains vitamin, as the North American would say, or vitamin C, as the European would say. Yes, that's a kiwi fruit. It's called kiwi fruit. This is the orange we cut yesterday. Remember, it was both a mathematical exercise as well as a biological exercise. And some of you have already drawn this, and guess what? Your name has either been entered for the prizes, or some of you have already got your prizes. Prizes will come. Gifts will come. In this channel, we give. We don't take. Because we understand it's blessed to give than to receive. So we're not interested in taking. We'll give you. And we'll show you the necessary information so that you can live, and we'll share the testimony later. So this great orange, it has vitamin C in it as well. Please take oranges, not just orange juice. You'll be able to get that in your local supermarket. If you can't get it, you can order it online for delivery. And then the other L for lemon. L-E-M-O-N, lemon, great source of vitamin C. You need to be able to get that as well. We did this in the morning. So if you missed out in the morning how we cut this, how we didn't just cut it, we took out the fruit, we measured the distance from this end to this end, we wrote it down, we divided it by 2, we wrote it down, and then we measured it from here to here. We did the marking, and then we cut the knife along those marks, and we have 2 equal halves. Tomorrow we're going to cut it again, and then into a quarter. We're going to cut it again, and that is going to demonstrate understanding of fractions for our friends, particularly the young ones, that may find fraction a difficult mathematical subject. It is a practical mathematical concept. So you to understand how practical it is. So that's why I brought this for you, so that you can see this and know that you don't have to worry about learning, because we're going to learn in this period, and we're going to understand each other more and understand what you classify as difficult concepts. Yesterday we talked about chlorhexidine. We said chlorhexidine is antibacterial and antiviral, and we showed you why you need to always wash your hands. See, this is why I am not happy with mainstream television right now. A lot of the mainstream television, instead of telling you this, instead of telling you what to wash your hands with, how often to wash your hands, what to do when you have your friends, if your friends still come to say hello to you electronically, what to do with your friends and your family that you are with physically. Because man cannot exist on his own. You have interaction with other beings, be it electronically or physically. You have to interact with other people. So you need to be able to know why you interact with them and the benefit of interacting with them. So here's an additional fruit. I was going to cut that. I don't think we're going to have time for that now. And then why we need to be able to come up with our own sanitizer. What you need to add to this, it comes with a flavor, cherry flavor. Look at this. It's a washing up liquid, cherry flavor. How we are able to add alcohol to this and produce our own sanitizer. By the way, the word alcohol is not what is written on the label. It's methylated spirit. We had that in the morning. If you didn't watch it in the morning, please do yourself one big favor. Don't allow gap to exist in your knowledge, because the only weapon of death is ignorance. The biggest weapon of death is ignorance. It's not the disease itself. It's people are ignorant of how the disease operates. if you understand how the virus operates and how it causes disease, you will be able to enjoy life. Nobody will die if they are given the right information and they then do the right thing. It is unusual for you to have a whole government that have departments all over, that the department that work for him, they have the health department, they have hospital department, they have schools, they have the science and technology department, they have the research department, and not be able to synthesize the information that the public need to hear so that they can live. All we see on television now is the number of people that are expected to die tomorrow. This is what irritates me. They're not just telling you the number of people that died yesterday. They are not telling you the number of people that died the day before. They've not come with a graph. That's all they're showing you. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. This is how they're projecting it. This is how they're going to bend the curve. This is what they're going to do to push the curve. And this is the people that are going to die. When you hear that people died 2 days ago, and people died yesterday, and then they give you the number of people that will die today, and they tell you the number of people that are expected to die tomorrow, you think death. Meanwhile, there's a lot you can do to completely avoid the infection, completely avoid the pathogens. That should be the emphasis. And if you already have had a slight misfortune, it's not a big misfortune, slight misfortune of contracting or getting in contact or getting infected by the virus, 3 things that you should do immediately to boost your immune system. Immediately. 3 things that you should do immediately to boost your immune system. That's what the media should be saying. These are the things that you can do to get your immune system. The media should come out. 5 things that people in Wuhan, China did. 5 things that the people in Wuhan, China did to boost their immune system. 3 things that the people in Wuhan, China did every day to survive their 52 days of lockdown. Not heard that from mainstream media. The mainstream media is excited, fascinated with telling you what will happen tomorrow because of lockdown. You need to know what to happen today. You need to know the fruits you need to eat, the type of food you need to eat right now. You need to know why you need to wash your hands, because if you don't know why you need to wash your hand, and more importantly, disinfect, not just wash your hand, disinfect your hand and disinfect surfaces, because some of you don't understand why you need to disinfect surfaces, then you will not do it. I need a proper public education channel that I can recommend to you. I haven't seen any. When I see, I'll let you know. But until then, we're meeting 3 times every day. 10 a.m., 2 p.m. as we come now, and 7 p.m. later. And if you are in employment, this is the biggest opportunity. I brought some things for you. We normally give this to our young ones. This is a fantastic baby can learn. Dr. Robert Tisler, he's a great friend of mine, and those of you that follow me on Facebook will have seen our interactions over the years. Your baby can learn Vietnamese. Look at this, your baby. The beauty of this is that when you start exposing your baby or your child, your kid stage, this is nursery, not even kid stage 1, to Vietnamese and Mandarin, you know what happens? Your own goes off. You are just administering it. You are not teaching them. You are exposing them to this. You will be astonished how your son or your daughter learns multiple languages. I'm not telling you theory. Mine spoke 6 different languages while at elementary school. It's there. It's on Wikipedia. It's on any of the encyclopedia. It's on BBC. It's on CNN. I have gone this route before, so I'm not telling you something that will make you excited. I'm telling you, lockdown, language learning. lockdown equals opportunity for you to learn. That's why we said learn and earn. Why am I saying this? The more languages you speak, the more you are able to communicate with the world. And that's why we said China Daily, we got that here. Speaking Mandarin, those of you that can speak Mandarin, you also know Ni Hao. If you speak Mandarin, Ni Hao. Type Ni Hao. If you speak Mandarin, type Ni Hao on your comment box now. Please type Ni Hao in your comment box. If you don't speak Mandarin, we will teach you a few words before lockdown is over, and we'll tell you how to build on it. If you speak French, good. This is beautiful. You'll be able to walk through this. But if you don't speak French and you have a baby at home, easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time you expose your baby to this and give them materials and look at different animals here, you will never, ever regret going on lockdown. Because you will now have something to look up to, because we're going to come through this tunnel. We will go through this dark hour, and dawn will break, and all of us will sing for joy. The politicians have no clue what it takes to go through any situation. If they did, they'll give you better press conferences. I've listened to press conference after press conference after press conference. When you finish, you feel like dying. Because it's doom, doom, and doom. No, they should tell us do, and do. That means what we should do with physical exercises. Physical exercises. Every day, they should do exercises in front of us and say, these are physical exercises. This is what I do. The first hour I wake up, I do these exercises. The second thing is mental exercises. Mental exercises. It helps your mental well-being. I'm not even talking about yoga. No. I'm talking about playing any instrument. I didn't say you be the best musical person. I'm saying you learn to play an instrument in lockdown. It will help rewire your brain cells. The mainstream media, they are not saying this. They are arguing over how many women got this type of treatment and died, what their age was when they died. Death is not your portion. If there is a dead spirit in town, it cannot know the way to your house if you take these steps. Mentally fit, physically fit, and nutrition. Take the necessary nutrition. You are programmed by your creator to defeat the virus. Let me say this slowly. This is scientifically proven that if your body is in tip condition, you can be infected. There are people that have been infected. That's why I want the testimony. I am going to get that video played tomorrow or tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to play the video. Family of 4. How did they, mother, father, children, how did they survive in Wuhan? Wuhan is the recognized epicenter of this deadly virus. Every single leader on planet Earth has recognized that this whole thing started in Wuhan. That's why we made contact with Wuhan. And we were able to isolate, in our search and our quest, isolate a family that is singing and dancing after 52 days in Wuhan. They were in lockdown. They have friends that couldn't pull through, sadly. They had neighbors that couldn't pull through. They had acquaintances that couldn't pull through. So that's why we want to find out, what did you do differently that your friends, your neighbors, and acquaintances did not do? But sadly, some of those ones, lives were lost. You know, the first thing they told us, they listened to the authorities. That's the first thing they said. Those ones that did not make it listened to authorities. They did not come with their own personal precautions. Number one was personal hygiene. Number two was boosting their immune system. Number three was keeping their spirit high. Spirit high. How do you do that? You sing. You play music. You play music. You don't just sit down in front of the television and watch television 12 hours a day. Some are watching television 5 hours a day. That is waste. That is not only waste, that's not only waste and waste of your time. That is a dangerous activity to do now. Because I already know what the television is going to tell you. I know that. It's doom, not do. We replace the doom and we give you what to do. So when you live here now, you know clear instructions. You got clear instructions. If you have children, you know what you're going to do. And we're going to make this link available. Get Dr. Robert Tisler, my friends, and DVD. We're going to put aspects and link to that on our YouTube channel. And if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you have missed a lot. We've been on air now every day. Every single day since the schools in the United Kingdom packed up. We've been on air every single day. So if you are here, then you need to get all your things out and go and get all the broadcasts we've had, because we have some broadcasts. Go on YouTube right now. Don't even wait until I finish. Go on YouTube, and when you get on YouTube, yes, you guess it. What do? You do something very simple. Something very, very simple. Something that anybody can do. You don't need to pay for anything to do that. Go and get the first broadcast we did and why we are continuing. Go and understand why we set this up. We didn't just set it up because we wanted to set it up. We set it up because we know we are going to pull through this together. And at the end, we are going to sing and dance. And the children already know that not going to school is the greatest opportunity for you to learn in a flexible way. That means you learn what you like. You don't just learn what they told you to learn. You learn what you love to learn. So you learn a new language, like I shared that with you. You learn a new language. You work with your child, particularly if your child is preschool. You work with them because babies can learn. But babies learn better than we adults. And while you are teaching your baby, if you're an adult, you also learn. Don't tell me you don't understand the language. Learn how to speak English like the English, how to speak English like the American. That means softening your accent in this period. It's the best time. It's the best time. And when they say the plague has come to town, tell them the plague does not have your zip code. Because when the plague has come to town, the first thing that you do is fear. And so, oh, the plague has come to town. This might happen to me or that might happen to me. No, no, no. Nothing happens to you. Except what you allow to happen to yourself. If you allow it to happen to you, then it will happen to you. But if you don't allow it to happen to you, it won't happen to you. So I'm rounding up. And I'm letting you know, we made this clear yesterday. We will make China Daily, the newspaper, from the city, the epicenter of all the virus infections, available to you for free. What you need to do is please type in now. Type in your comment box the city you're living in. If it's LA, Los Angeles, we'll make that available to you. We got New York Times. If you're in New York, type New York, we'll make that available to you. If you're in London, we'll make that available to you. That's London Times. Like I said, we got the ocular surgery news. I just got my copy of this month's magazine arrived, and there are highlights here for every healthcare worker. So if you're a healthcare worker, thank God for you. I'm excited. If you're a healthcare worker, thank God for you, because you are right in the forefront of all the fight that we have. You are doing the fighting, and most of the politicians are sabotaging what you're doing. So please be focused and faithful to your calling. We will give you all the additional support that you require, because your mental health, seeing tragedy every day, is something that is destructive. I'm not saying it can be destructive. It is destructive. No matter who you are made of flesh and blood, and therefore you have emotions. And we're going to help you emotionally, and we're going to give you and your children opportunity to enjoy this period. Yes, it's difficult for you to believe. Yes, you can enjoy the period. Yes, you can, because you made up in your mind what you're going to do, and you will accomplish it. If you say no, it's not a period anybody can enjoy, I'll tell you what you need to do to enjoy it. I'm going to show you how to speed read this, so you can read this entire newspaper in less than 20 minutes. You read this entire New York Times in 10 minutes, the Chinese Daily in 10 minutes. If you are non-English speaking, even better. Please, my Twitter handle is @ChrisImafidon. I'm typing that on Facebook now. @ChrisImafidon. Thank you, Chidi, for joining. Isabel for joining. Thank you for you're typing all your cities. Thank you. Please type your cities there. I want you to type your cities. If you type your cities, I'll be able to respond to you. If you don't type your cities, I will not be able to respond to you. Thank you. The plague will not know your course. The plague will not know your postcode. How can? If you follow the instructions we're giving here, the plague cannot know your postcode, because the plague is a virus. We know what a virus is, and we know what the variant of a virus is. So if you are already employed and you are not sure of your employment, I need a big message for you. You need to type in now your LinkedIn profile and send me a LinkedIn request. In addition to that, not one or the other, in addition to that, you need to go on LinkedIn right now. I am putting a link to my previous Periscope broadcast on LinkedIn. You also need to go on Facebook. If you're on Facebook Live, and type on the comments, you have to, without any hesitation, go on Twitter. Why? Because on Twitter, I will make sure you get your free copy of China News Daily, so that you understand what's happening in Wuhan, the epicenter, and the people that have already gone through what you are just entering now. In Wuhan, they've already gone through this. You get to know that. In New York, what the testing impediment is. New York is the city worst affected in the whole United States. It's very sad. What did they do wrong? What should they have done differently? And what can you do to correct it if you are in New York, in New Jersey area, anywhere in the East Coast? By the way, we are extending this all the way to DC. Anywhere in the East Coast of the United States, there are things you need to do now. I showed it this morning. I showed it during the 10 a.m. broadcast. I showed you. I didn't just tell you. I showed you. We went to the kitchen. I showed you what to do. I showed you the substances. I showed you chlorhexidine. I showed you the mentholated spirit. I showed you the gel, and I showed you how you can easily wash your hands. If you haven't seen that, right there, yet to be seen. If you have Twitter, it is too expensive to live in ignorance. What you ignore is what you need to be able to shine. So please do not work on the misinformation of our mainstream media. They haven't got what it takes to handle an emergency. They don't understand what it means to respond to an emergency. I'm giving you this and I'm showing you this. I will give you the PDF to this. Responding to emergency. How do you respond to emergency? The government particularly the politicians, panic, and they want always to appear confident and cool in front of the camera and say something. So you will notice this. What the government said last week about this situation has changed. If they were really depending on experts, they will be consistent and they'll be ahead of the game. The governments are far more interested in sounding pleasing, appeasing some section of society, and the government is still talking about the economy. We're talking about life, and we are telling you why you will not accept this as what the media has tagged it. The media, some section of the media has called it the weapon of mass destruction. In the evening, I will tell you, in every crisis, there is a great opportunity for leadership. I will demonstrate to you how it is not a weapon of mass destruction, is a weapon of wealth creation. I will talk to you how in a state in Africa, they've developed the testing so that it takes less than half an hour. I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to blow it. That's the reason why I'm tired of this old system telling us cock and bull story. We will make available to you what the Times of London has given to all our viewers for free. We will tell you more about that later. We will tell you how you can get this for free. Can you see this? This is brand new Google Home Mini. Somebody is going to get this for free. How you're going to get this for free? Because when you are thinking as a wealth creator, particularly in a crisis situation like this, you're not thinking you're just going to go through it. No, you're not going through it. You're going to thrive in it. And when we come out of the other side, you will understand why this happened. It's a shaking and a switch in leadership. It's a redistribution of the global wealth. You will see it and you will understand what I'm talking about now. So you need to listen and you need to make sure you clear your diaries. For 7 o'clock this evening, we're coming back and somebody is going to win this as well. This is a MacBook Air. Somebody is going to win this. We'll tell you exactly what you need to do. For those of you that have not joined the Excellence in Education program, you are losing a lot. I don't know why anybody would do that to themselves. Because when you are informed, you are empowered. When you are ignorant, you have fear. You need to be able to convert your fear into fortune. The only way you can get that is get some information, like what I shared this morning. When you get some information, then you are inspired. You get inspiration. Say, oh, I heard this, I too can do it. Then you get instruction. Step by step, what to follow. And then you implement. That's the fourth I, and the last you have impact. Let me say it slowly. Put up your finger. The first I is information. So because if you live in ignorance, you are guaranteed to fail. You're guaranteed to be unsuccessful, and you're guaranteed to die. But most people that have died so far died because they didn't have the proper, accurate information about antivirals. A virus is not supposed to kill anybody now. Of course not now. Not with the technology we have, not with AI, not with VR, not with MR. No. Virus is not supposed to kill anyone now. What is killing people is lack of appropriate information pre-infection and post-infection. This has been demonstrated. It's not my views. I will give you the citation in the scientific peer-reviewed journal to demonstrate to you that the virus will not be able to kill you if you have the required information. And then if you are inspired to take action, followed by inspiration, and then followed by instruction. We gave instruction this morning about personal hygiene. You got instruction about personal hygiene. You got instruction about how even if the person you, God forbid, you're nursing or caring for is infected, what you can do not to be contaminated. We show that to you. Oh, my mask is downstairs. I'm going to show you my mask later this evening. I'll show you my mask. My mask is downstairs. And if you implement this, this is what the Prime Minister, what the President, what our leaders should and must tell you to do. Not doom, 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 doom. Your pre-existing condition that affects your lungs, if you're asthmatic, things you can do now that will even make it impossible for you to be severely affected were you to be infected. So the fact that you are infected does not mean that you are going to die. This is what anybody is not telling you. Your body was built, designed by its creator to resist and fight the virus. So do you understand this? You have to understand why you ignore the mainstream media and reach out to every single person that is going through a hard time. Thank you. Some people are putting great information here. Yes. If you are not a member of the Excellence in Education program, you will not have access to our lockdown behind the scene page. You will not have access to our traditional lockdown group that needs permission for you to go into. Please register on the Excellence in Education website. It is www.excellenceineducation.org.uk. Register there and all the details required will be given to you. Remember, ignorance is a bigger killer than any disease. Meanwhile, information dispels fear. Insight empowers you. Do not think that sections of the media that are designed to entertain you or make a sensation of every news, there's a section of the media, all they do is sensationalism. What will make you say, oh, that's what you're interested in. I need you to not watch television more than 1 hour a day. I need you to decide which languages you're going to learn. I need you to decide which instrument you're going to learn to play. I need you to have a learning plan now, because it will affect your earning once we pull through this. So I want to thank you for listening. I do not want to take your time, but I need you to know that life is for living. I need you to know that you can't sit there and die, because they said, why sit with here and die? We will give you the information that will make you outlive every expectation you have of yourself. And then we will tell you what you need to do to be able to boost your health holistically. Mental health, physical health, emotional well-being, so that you know that this weapon that is said is weapon of mass destruction is really weapon of health creation and wealth creation for you. I'm not talking about others that didn't listen. So if you haven't shared it with your friends, it's a shame. You should share it with your friends, because I need all your friends and your family and members that you know to work through this and join life as it is, and that there is nothing anybody is going to say that can affect your well-being. Is what you do that will affect it. So as a friend, to inform you about the steps you must take so that by 7 o'clock you get all the information that you require as an entrepreneur. If you are a student in Key Stage 2 and Key Stage 3, you will need to write why you think there's a difference between a virus and a bacteria and any other microorganism. Yes. Your homework, if you're a student, at undergraduate level is look at bacteria, viruses, and why antibacterial will not be antiviral, and be able to tell us the difference between what is a pathogen, pathos, genesis, and what is a normal, harmless microorganism. You need to say that, you need to understand that, because I really need to drive this knowledge home. If you have this knowledge with you of pathology, physiology, and anatomy, because you are looking at what is normal, what is abnormal, you as an undergraduate science student will be able to go through this. If you are a girl that has always found science difficult, I need to announce to you at 5 o'clock, if you are part of the Excellence in Education program, Amari comes over at 5 o'clock. I'm going to show you and teach you a new programming language. Remember, when you are through with that program, you'll be earning $600 a day. Let me say that slowly. That participation in the STEM program gives you certification that guarantees internship and work placement and ability to earn up to $600 a day, regardless of your age, regardless of your location, regardless of what you studied before, and regardless of most importantly what you think about yourself. Because I know some of you think, oh, I'm not a techie. No, you don't have to be a techie. You just need to be willing. You just need to be obedient, and you will have multiple opportunity to contribute to technology. Why? Because technology is what controls my laptop, is what controls your desktop, is what controls your mobile phone. That's the reason why I'm now talking to you in 3 continents. This morning, the people that responded to our call for different cities span 4, Asia, Europe, North America, and Africa. 4 continents. 4 continents participated in our broadcast this morning. And that was from my own kitchen. And remember, I'm not any of mainstream channel that have giant budget, multi-million pound budget like the BBC, or multi-million pound project like the CNN. No. All I had was just, yeah, you guessed it, exactly what you have. Mobile devices. Yes. With your mobile devices, you are able to broadcast like we're doing now to Instagram. Some of you are watching us on Instagram. You are able to broadcast, as I'm doing now, to Periscope. We are able to broadcast to Twitter. Able to go on Facebook Live. Able to go on YouTube. Able to go on LinkedIn. So if you are technophobic, that is a worse disease than anybody can have now. You got to break away from your fear of disease, and break away from your fear of technology, and break away from every fear you have, and be free to live life to the abundance that you've been given. Be given an abundance of life, you have to live it. If you don't live to your abundance of life, you have disgraced the person that gave you that opportunity. So come out of your fear, because all you have to fear is fear itself. So I thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at 7 p.m. London time, which is 5 p.m. New York time, which is 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, the African time, and all our Asian friends and family will come to us. I'll probably play you a video there that will completely wipe out every fear you have, because I have a family. I'm going to introduce you to them. I've said this before, that we're on lockdown for 52 days, and how it can change your mindset, either to go crazy and be depressed and have your immunity completely suppressed, or be excited and say, yes, it's never happened before in the lifetime of any generation, for coast to coast, every continent to come on, literally be shaken by a micro. It's so small you can't see with your eye. It's a microorganism